Welcome back, guys. Reggie vs. Solace coming to you, a new video. And in this video, we're going to talk about Enhanced Shamans. Yes, all right. So, Enhanced Shamans, we're going to talk about this. This is the class that I'm playing now on Classic Era servers. I'm going to be real quick and trying to give you this video in under 40 minutes. But there's a lot to talk about as far as the Enhanced Shaman. I'm going to go over gearing, how you're going to be able to get into a raiding guild, and then going over the gear that I have on my Enhanced Shaman, and also then going over a little bit of raid strategies and the consumables. Well, we'll talk a little bit about consumables. I'll make a part 2 to show you the full consumables, what you're going to need as far as Classic Era is concerned on raiding with your Enhanced Shaman. All right, and professions you're going to need also. We'll talk a little bit in detail on that. We'll do a part 2 on breaking out on specifications on each of those type of categories, consumables and professions later in later videos. So let's get it started. Enhanced Shaman complete breakdown. This was a requested video from all the Enhanced Shamans or the young shamans on the server that see me kind of geared out and see me that, hey, you got raid gear. How are they allowing you to raid on your Enhanced Shaman? Well, I'll be able to tell you why. All right, so let's get to it. Boom. All right, so here it is, the Enhanced Shaman. His name is Enchantment. I was able to get him over to White Main, which is a fairly high population server on the Classic Era. There's raid buffs dropping around the clock, and it's been doing that for the entire summer. I started in like early June coming over here, and now it's September, and we're in a good place. All right, so we'll go over the gear real quick, and then I'll break down, where you're able to get the gear. How does it go in GDKPs? It's a GDKP type of era we're in right now. And then we'll go over quick rotations on how you're able to maximize your damage as an Enhanced Shaman in World of Warcraft Classic Era. All right. So your number one head item is going to be your Crown of Destruction. Crown of Destruction, guys. You're going to be able to get this. You get this off Phase 1 in Molten Core. You do not have anything better than this. It's really strong to be able to get your Crown of Destruction. It's just super good. Every 10 intellect gives you 100 mana, so you want to be, like I said, you're always playing the mana conservation game as an Enhanced Shaman, as we're very mana hungry. You're going to be drinking a lot. There's a lot of downtime, unfortunately, as an Enhanced Shaman, so you want to go in, do heavy burst, and get out. That's the best way to play your Enhanced Shaman. With raiding, is a little different because bosses go for longer than 30 seconds, longer than a minute, and then you're playing that mana conservation game. Crown of Destruction is really good. An alternate to your Crown of Destruction, I have not got this yet, is in ZG Fishy Boss. He drops this, which is your Lizard Scale Eye Patch. You're going to be competing with Druids and Rogues on this one also. 2% chance to get a critical strike, same as your Crown of Destruction over here. And then 44 attack power, same as your Crown of Destruction over here. The difference is, of course, this gives you 23 stam, this gives you 19. Slightly better here, and of course the 9 intellect, which is basically 100 mana. So you just want to keep that in mind. But if you cannot get this, I paid a pretty penny for this. You could possibly get this for free or very cheap in your GDKPs. Once again, if you're going for this, you're competing with 40 people. Well, not 40 people, but you're competing with shamans that may come in with a lot of gold, versus this, not so much, and it's only 20 people in the raid. So, and it's basically the same amount of stats. So just keep that in mind. Great pickup item. If you can't get your Crown of Destruction, which is your number one best helmet, you can go for your Lizard Scale Eye Patch and still be able to do comparable damage. Just keep that in mind. Your next, you got plenty of different neck options for, as you guys can see here, even though I'm cosplaying using Imorph, I am an Orc Shaman, and I was using Nightfall. I'm going to go into Nightfall in further detail later. With the neck pieces, you want to be able to get 9% hit. That way you can hit the bosses without glancing, without missing too many hits. And of course, every hit you have as an Enhanced Shaman, you want to be able to land, because we're very limited in our melee damage hits. So Onyxia Tooth Pendant, I just got this yesterday. I needed to get up to hit, as I got the Hand of Rag last week. So before that, I was using the axe. Orcs have axe specialization. We get 5% damage to axes. That means it's 3% chance to hit using your axes. So you got some leeway as far as putting more attack power items on you if you're an orc wielding an axe. The majority of folks are going to be doing that, so you're good to go. Unless you're a Tauren Shaman or a Troll Shaman, you want to be able to get 9% hit. This is going to be your Abyss neck piece. There's not too many that offer hit. If you find one, equip it. All right, your Abyss Shoulders is going to be your Mantle of Wicked Revenge. Really strong. You get this from AQ 40. 5 of our Abyss items drop in AQ 40. That's going to be the number one raid you're running. Get into a GDKP if you have a lot of gold. If you're in a soft reserve, you're going to be soft reserving these items. You don't really need to soft reserve weapons out of AQ 40. You want to be going for your Abyss armor. And this is one of them, Mantle of Wicked Revenge. There's a few others that you can get. Like I use this for PvP. Your Taut Dragon High shoulder pads. You can get this basically for free. Most druids already have it. And you'll only be really competing with druids. Maybe a rogue here and there. But you can get this for PvP. 42 attack power, 30 stamina. Doesn't give you any crit and any agility or anything like that. So most people skip over it. But you can be able to get this cheap if you don't have your Mantle of Wicked Revenge. I hear this doesn't drop too often, so get it while you can. A next good option is your Cloak of Firemaw. This is like your third or fourth Abyss. I get it because it's 50 attack power. It depends. If you need your hit, your number one Abyss is going to be out of AQ 40. Once again, this is the second item that you can get out of AQ 40s off the first boss. It's your Cloak of Concentrated Hatred because it gives you that hit. Don't have too many hit items. That gives you melee hit as an enhanced shaman. 22 attack power, which is 11 strength, gives you 16 agility, so that's almost a crit and a half. And then your 15 stamina, which is good just all around to be able to have stamina. Your number one cloak is going to be Nax Ramus off of Saf. My guild is still progressing to Saf, so I haven't seen this yet as far as in this guild. It gives you the same 50 attack power as your Cloak of Firemaw, plus it gives you a chance to crit, which you definitely need, and a little bit of stamina. This gives you more stamina though by 1, but this is your best because it gives you that chance to crit. Whenever you get a chance to crit, you take it. So this is like I said, second or third best. Cloak of Firemaw is really good. A lot of people skip over it because they're best whores, where they only want the best item. If it's not best, they don't bid on it at all. You can be able to snatch it really good and start parsing high. Your second best is going to be your Obsidian Mail Tunic. This is your number one best as far as mail is concerned, but as far as what you can equip, this is your second best. The first is going to be your Ghoul Skin Tunic in Nax, and that drops off trash. It's a perfect way to be able to soft reserve something because there's not too many items off trash that we can use, and there's not too many items besides the final bosses that we can really use in Nax. So good thing to be able to have your Ghoul Skin Tunic. That is of course leather, so you have competition with feral druids that really want that. Maybe some rogues or some like starved warriors will want it also, because it is better than Savage Gladiator Chain, for example. So just keep that in mind. Wrist Guards of Stability, super strong, 48 attack power. What's not to love? It doesn't have any agility on it, so people will pass it over. But folks that are still progressing, maybe new characters that are just fresh 60s, they're going to be bidding on this if you're in a GDKP. If you're in a soft reserve it. There's not too many items you can get off Molten Core that will last you well into Nax. This is one of them. All right. Black Grasp of the Destroyer. This is kind of like either a hunter or a shaman kind of item. Not too many competition on it. You do have to get it crafted. I did for about maybe 1K or something like that. I like the 8 mana regen and a possible mana drain, so you can use it on Moam, things like that. It's pretty strong. I got it done, like I said. The auction house is now for almost 2K. I got it done for 1K. It was, pretty decent to be able to have it. Yeah. The best one is your Gloves of, once again in AQ 40, your Gloves of, it's off the Battle God Sortura. This one. This is your best. Gloves of Enforcement, 28 strength. That's giving you like 54 attack power, give or take. And then of course your chance to hit, 20 agility. That means 2% chance to crit. Super strong. You definitely want to be able to get this. It still hasn't dropped for me yet. But this one did, which is awesome. Sortura has a couple of our good items. This being one of them. Your badge is pretty decent, and then Sifley Claw if you want to go one-handed. But you really don't want to do that, by the way. Yeah. And, for healing, you get this. I mean, there's a lot of shaman items just off of Battle Guard Sortura Just keep that in mind. Arthurian's Binding drops off AQ 20. There is a few items in AQ 20 that you can use. This is one of them. It gives you a chance to crit. It gives you a chance to hit. It gives you 20 agility, which is another chance to crit. It's awesome. So this is super strong item. You'll be able to get this. The Thurzan's Link in Blackwing Lair is your second bis. Your first bis is Belt of Unending Agony, I think it is, off of Cthulhu. Once again, AQ 40. Bis for enhanced shamans. It's super strong. You're going to be super competition with hunters and rogues for that. So just keep that in mind. Maybe some hungry warriors may want it too, but whatever. Warriors can get better. But Arthurian's Binding, super strong to be able to get. I'm using it. I also have Thurzan's Link in the bank. I had to switch some items around because I have Hand of Rag and I'm an orc warrior. Orc shaman. Excuse me. So just keep that in mind. Your bis, pants, scaled sand reaver leggings. Now, your second bis will be your Storm Strike set, your tier 2.5 in AQ. You can use that. It's less attack power and less chance to crit. So just keep that in mind. We can look at those real quick. I don't have any tier gear on this guy because they just don't work out too well for the shamans, for enhanced shamans, I would say. I think it's these are the boots. And let me see. I think it was the skin off of Uro, right? Yeah, these right here. These are pretty good. It's 24 attack power. You get 62 on your scaled sand reaver leggings. This one gives you a little bit of mana, but it's not really that strong, to be honest with you. You can do a lot better than this. This is more for enhanced. It gives you some intellect, so you have a bigger mana bar, but the stats on this one not too strong. Now, the 3 set is pretty good. Your lightning bolt, chain lightning, and shock spells, 20% chance to grant 50 nature damage. So your filler spells can be a little higher if you go with the Stormcaller set. I've seen some people try to enhance with Stormcaller. You're just going to be doing less DPS, but you can, and you can have some tier pieces, but you want to go for off tier as an enhanced shaman. That's just the nature of the game. Boots of Shadow Flame, to me, it's my best. It could be people's second best. It gives you 2% chance to hit off of a epic item. Not too many do that. Just keep that in mind. 44 attack power is very strong, and 22 stamina. Use it in PvP. I do it also. It's really, really good. These strong items. There's boots in AQ 40 that are awesome. I think they come off Bug Tree, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that. Let's see. Maybe Sotora. It's some type of boots that I drop in here. They're good also. But we're not going to spend too much time on it. These are decent. Hive Tunnel's boots. There's more Druid. I forget what those boots drop, but there are some boots that drop in here that are pretty decent. Yeah, pretty decent. Maybe it was our first boss. Raving Grill. No, it's not these. Not these. These here, there it is. Boots of the Falling Prophet. I had these. They dropped. It went right to me. It's something I didn't even soft reserve. So if you're in a guild that's like, look, they don't want the warriors rolling on dumb stuff. No hunter really needed this. It gives you healing and damage up to 20, which is great. 30 attack power, and it gives you 10 agility, which is 1% chance to crit. Stamina, intellect. It's perfectly itemized for a shaman. So if you can't get the 2% to hit boots out of Blackwing Lair, definitely go for these. It'll be no competition on these, and you'll be able to get them and going good. I have these in the bank. But I need hit now, so I had to, of course, sacrifice this. Strong boots, though. 30 attack power, nothing to sneeze at, super strong, and it gives your shock spell some additional damage. So that's good. Different type of rings you can go for. This is not your optimal ring. I just do it because I grinded for it. But it's plenty of rings. Your Neff ring from the Neff head is good. Quick Strike ring off Molten Core is great. Your ring of Karaji Fury off Viscidus is great. Just any other ring is good. You can use this one also. Like I said, I use this because I need the hit. Your Don Julio's band is something you need to do is you need to rank, especially with the rank changes. Ranking 1, you're going to get your bang for your buck as far as burst in PvP. Shamans perform way better than they do in PvE. In PvP, you'll be able to one-shot fools, which is great. That's always a satisfying feel. Your Don Julio's band, you get this off of Exalted in AV. So you should have this. It gives you a chance to crit, gives you a chance to hit, 16 attack power, 11 stamina. What's not to love? It gives you 4 categories of items that you need. As far as trinkets go, trinkets are different. This is the fourth time I grinded for Earth Strike. You want to be able to keep that in mind. The classic Andes that know me from Warblade and Gressel and Maces, they all know that Earth Strike, hard grind, you do that in the Cenarian Hold. But 280 attack power is nothing to sniff at. Rogues can use it, Feral Druids can use it, Hunters can use it, Warriors can use it, Enhanced Shamans can use it. Awesome. So I grinded for that. I got this on my birthday. Birthday was about a month ago, about 3 weeks ago. Badger Swarm Guard's awesome. I was getting into it with a little bit of warriors from the guild. They knew who they are. Was saying that, oh, Badge isn't good for enhanced shamans. We do have melee attacks. Our melee is our #1 attack, by the way. Now, it is better for warriors. It is better for rogues. It's better for hunters. But no one rolled on it, and I soft reserved it. So I'm able to use it in raids on cooldown and use it in an effective way that I'm able to get the full armor mitigation from it. Now, the uptime isn't as great as a warrior's because they can use cleave, they can use whirlwind, they can pair it with the recklessness, but I can pair it with my kind of damage outbreaks also. I can pair it with Blood Fury, I can pair it with Earth Strike. These do not share a cooldown, and I can pair it, of course, with Storm Strike. So I got Earth Strike propping, I got a Strike here, and I got a Storm Strike proccing off, and I pair it with that. It's a 30-second duration. Storm Strike is 20-second duration, so I can use 2 Storm Strikes while my Badger Swarm Guard is up. So that is giving me 4 out of the 6 procs, because it does proc. The armor penetration effect is applied up to 6 times. And of course, your other 2 will come from your melee attack. And as an enhanced shaman, you definitely want to make sure you have a swing timer bar to make sure you're not clipping yourself as far as your melee attacks. Because if you use a strike ability, it will reset your swing timer. You do not want that. You want the full strike to go out in the middle of it, and then you'll be able to strike cast your strike ability. So just keep that in mind. Last but not least is Sulphurous Hand of Ragnaros. It's a super chonker. My DPS went up 75 equipping this thing. It's super strong, amazing weapon. One of your best. The best is gonna be your Might of Menethil you get from KT. But this is a strong weapon. It's a legendary weapon. You know, I love legendaries. You guys say I was able to DPS, get 99 on Saf back in the day using my Thunder Fury in my offhand, Gressel in the main hand. Good times. With Sulphurous Hand of Ragnaros, I can kind of do something similar, and I will try to. So just keep that in mind. Sulphurous is great. And then, of course, your totem. This is going to be your #1. There's not too many totems in the game that you can use for DPS on an enhanced shaman. This is the only one. You get this from Magmus and Blackwing Lair. I'm not Blackwing Lair, but BRD, Black Rock Depth. So just keep that in mind. You definitely want to go for this. And you compare it with getting your other trinket, which you want to get is your Hodge. There's going to be a lot of competition on that. Folks are selling Hodges now, which is crazy. They summon you right to the Emperor, and then you pay if it drops. So Totem of Rage, you can try to farm that and get your Hodge maybe in the same run. But the majority of people are asking, the young shamans, the level 20s, the level 30s are asking me, hey, Enchantsman, I see you're super geared. You got your guild is allowing you to raid. How? Well, the first item I had crafted moving to this server was Nightfall. Nightfall. This is the #1 item you're gonna, if you want to raid as an enhanced shaman, you want to raid as an enhanced shaman. You want to raid as an enhanced shaman. You're getting your Nightfall. All right. Listen, they're not even allowing you to raid if you don't have this thing. Now, there's going to be some guilds that know that enhanced shamans are taking gear away from your warriors, because you're going to have like 8, 9, 10 warriors. You're going to have like 2 or 3, 4 or 5 rogues. You're taking away a gear from hunters. They may have 2 of those. Yes, we're taking gear away from all of those jabronis. That's fine. But you come in with your Nightfall, you're coming in with something special that mainly is only go to you, maybe go to the Retribution Paladin on the Alliance side. But as far as the Shaman's concerned, you want to come in with this because now you're benefiting the raid. Your DPS is going to be abysmal, without world buffs. You can do some good DPS with the world buffs because we use everything. But the Nightfall, you're getting that spell damage proc for 5 seconds. And if it procs often, which it doesn't, by the way, Nightfall, the POS, because it does not proc as often as you would want, especially with having 0 stats. But it does have a little bit of good top end. 282 is great. 187 is kind of on the low end. And 350 is kind of normalized attack speed. You want the slower items for bigger damage as an enhanced shaman. So like the Nicker or the Black Rog's Laser, whatever, would be like super best because it's 4 second swing. But the Nesgaric Blood Drinker is 370, and also the Hand of Rag is 370 also. So major damage with those, but your Nightfall is pretty good, and you're providing the raid with a buff. Get this item crafted, even if you don't want to use it outside of raids. Perfectly fine. They're stronger weapons, but to get into the raid, you're using your Nightfall. Once again, get your Nightfall crafted if you want to raid. Classic WoW as an enhanced shaman. Do it. And that's why I was able to do it. I came into the raid with, of course, the name. They knew I was not doing Resto and I wasn't doing Ellie. I was enhancement. And I was like, oh shoot, you know what I mean? And you come with Nightfall. The raid leader said, yeah, he has his Nightfall. They was like, okay, let's get him in the raid. And they put me in group 1 with the tanks because I'm always dropping Wind Fury, as Wind Fury helps me. Now, Resto Shamans, Wind Fury's not really helping them that much. Ellie Shamans, Wind Fury's not really helping them that much. But I'm in the melee group, so they know that Wind Fury is going to be dropped down 100% of the time. So just keep that in mind. All right, so that's the gear right there. I want to go into a little bit of the trinkets. All right, we'll go into the trinkets, and then I'll talk a little bit about the Warcraft logs, and then I'll end the video. All right, let's get into it. So, what we have here, we're in Felwood. You're going to be in Felwood a lot. I'll make a whole consumable guide for the next video, and this will be like a 2-part series, maybe 3. But you're in Felwood. We're kind of ducked off here. You like being down here because the Alliance dominate up here. Jadefire Run is the #1 place to be able to get a lot of these demons. You can go to Ashara too, but Ashara doesn't provide these corrupted soul shards, and you need these corrupted soul shards to get Whipper Root Tubers, a part of your consumables, your Knight's Dragon's Breath, they let you get some mana while you're in battle, and the better one, which is your Demonic Rune. Now, you can get your Dark Runes also from Scholomance, but those are on the auction house for crazy amounts. Whereas the Dark Moon is the same effect. It restores 900 to 1500, the same as your Dark Rune. These are soulbound and these are free. So you're also getting your corrupted soul shards. You're getting your gear for, not your gear, but you're able to turn those in for Wind Blossom Berries for some stamina. You're able to turn them in for Whipper Root Tubers and your Night Dragon's Breath. All 3 of those. Plus, you're able to get your Dark Runes, Demonic Runes for free. So you want to be in Felwood all the time, like all the time. It's so great. Okay, so let's go and try this out. I'm going to try it out with Nightfall, as most of you guys trying to raid are going to be using your Nightfall. All right, so we're going to come in. What I do is you cast your Wind Fury weapon, right? Your Wind Fury weapon on your weapon of choice. I'm choosing Nightfall right now for demonstration purposes. And then we're going to go in. And what we're going to do is we're going to precast Badge of Swarmguard. We're going to go in, boom. Our first thing is going to be Storm Strike. That's procced off. You get two hits already right there. Boom, you do that, boom, and then you attack another one. And this guy's going to be down before we're able to get anything high. But we still got 12 seconds left on that, so we're going to go in. We're going to go in, and then we're able to use Storm Strike again. Boom, and we're able to knock it down. Able to knock him down, and then if someone's closer, like if this guy was a little closer, we might be able to get him too, right? And then we'll mess him up. Yeah, and then slice him down. Real easy stuff. All right, so let's look at some of the what we're able to do with that, and then we'll look at the auras. So with the auras here, you're seeing that we have Badge of Swarmguard up, and we were able, it applied itself 7 times, which was great, right? It applied itself 7 times And you can see that's what that is. The inside of the Karaji is the armor buff itself. And that was able to proc a couple times there too. And it refreshed itself 11 times, which was great. So we were able to have that up. And you saw how we were able to kind of put 2 and 2 kind of together as far as using the badge. I would weave Earth Strike in, of course, on a boss fight. You would weave Earth Strike in with that. And this is only me using melee, which is your number one. You want your auto attack. And then I mixed in Flame Shock. I'm able to mix in a little bit of Flame Shock in there too. And so that's that. Yeah. So that's kind of the sort of rotation. How you want to do it is, if you're going into a raid, you want to be able to proc your Badge of Swarm Guard as early as possible. You do that, and then you start with your Storm Strike, because this is giving you 2 attacks. Remember, the Storm Strike gives you an extra attack. In addition, the next 2 sources of nature damage dealt to the target are increased by 20%. Those nature damages could be your Flame Shock tick from your Flame Shock, or you can go in with the Earth Strike, Earth Shock, or you can go in with the Frost Shock. Either or, any one of your shock abilities will count as your nature damage. And then, of course, if you use Flame Shock, the tick is going to be the second part of that. And that's going to be, it's a chance to crit on that. And then while your Badge of Swarm Guard is up, remember, you got 30 seconds. You're going to be doing your auto attacks. You mix in your Earth Strike at the 20-second mark, so it's going to full duration. And then you mix in your Storm Strike again at the 20-second mark. So your 1 second mark, you're using Storm Strike, and then at the 20 to 21st second mark, you're using Storm Strike again. And that's giving you your 6 armor penetration buffs for your Badge of Swarm Guard. And that's going to be the way you're going to be raiding, and then you're mixing in with that. You can also mix in for short fights or long fights. You want to get 2 of these out, because there's a 2-minute cooldown, you mix in your Blood Flurry also. As far as totems are concerned, of course, you want to always have your Wind Fury down for your party, especially tanks. That's providing them with more threat. You want to go with your Wind Fury there. You go with your Mana Spring totem, because you always want to be gaining a little bit of mana. Now, do I wish this was stronger? Yes, but you want to get at least 1 tick of mana back from having this down. You always want to put your Strength of Earth totem down, unless you're in a fight that you need to put like Grounding totem or your Tremor totem down. But for regular standard fights, you want to be able to have your Strength of Earth totem, because it gives you 88 additional strength, and that's crazy. So you definitely want to have that down. That is a significant attack power boost to your Shaman. So you want to have your Wind Fury down, right? Wind Fury's down. You want to have your Mana totem down, right? You want to have your Strength of Earth. Right now, my strength is 147. My attack power is 744. Once I put down Strength of Earth, it goes from 744 to 920. You definitely want to have your Strength of Earth down. And then, of course, my strength went up to 235. Definitely want to have that down for sure if you can do it. And then, if it's AoE, you want to be able to blast your Fire Nova totem. Once that goes away in 5 seconds, then you put down your Magma totem. While you're doing that, you also want to have you got to have engineering, and I'm going to do a separate video on that. You got to have engineering. You're popping your Goblin Stapper charges if applicable, and then you also want to do your Dense Dynamite, or if you're in a PvP setting, you do your Iron Grenades. And that's giving you your AoE along with your Fire Nova totem every 15 seconds. So long AoE fights with multiple adds, you're dropping your Fire Nova totem, mixing in a Magma totem. You can downrank this if you want. I am. There's stronger Magma totems. This gives you the best coefficient, is your rank 4 Magma totem. Just keep that in mind. Rank 4 Magma totem, best coefficient. As far as mana retention. Remember, you're doing the mana dance all through these fights, by the way. And you're drinking, of course, out of combat. So that's kind of that right there. As far as the gear, you definitely want, remember, once again, Nightfall. You want to make the Nightfall if you want to raid in Classic Era as an enhanced Shaman. Trust me on this one. All right, Magma Totem and your Nightfall. All right, those are your keys to some great DPS. as far as the enhanced shaman. All right, let's go. We're at the 30-minute mark. Let's talk a little bit about logs and we'll get out of here. Cool. All right, so logs. Whew. All right, so we're going to talk about logs. You guys see here, there is possibilities for you to do some good damage as far as the logs, not good damage, but as far as the logs are concerned, to be able to do some good parses. I'm not a parser by any stretch of the imagination. I told you guys that on all my videos. But as you can see here, it's not too many people able to raid Nax as an enhanced shaman. So if you're able to get into a guild, Fury, for example, that allows you to raid, then you can be able to do some things with minimal type of, you can get these, I can get all of these numbers up to the 90s. But you see here, the 80%, well, that, the 80% of all patchwork, that's 10, like, out of all the Warcraft logs, because not too many people are able to raid as an enhanced shaman. Like, they don't take the meme class seriously to even allow you in the raid. So those people that are able to get in, you're able to get a decent parse because you're not able to raid it that often. My guild knows that I'm bringing the consumables. I've done that even on a Scarab Lord Warrior. I just like consuming, and it's expensive to consume. Like I said, I'll make the separate video on that. But you want to be able to do that and be able to come in and raid and be able to rank up. The Blackwing layer parses are a lot better. Well, because you're running in those with kind of full world buffs, and you guys can see here that the parses are a lot better. But more enhanced shamans are able to raid the Blackwing layer, so you're able to get away with a little bit there too, as far as the raids. Nax, not so much. So keep that in mind. AQ, same way, not so much. The numbers decrease down dramatically, but you can still get in there, do some good damage. Once people like review your parses and see that you're actually doing good, they're going to keep you in the raid because they know that it's not the player, it's the class that is not optimized. But the player's doing everything he or she can do as far as dropping those totems and doing the damage that they can. And you got to get into a guild like that if you really want to raid as an enhanced shaman. And of course, have your Nightfall. Have your Nightfall. Okay, cool. And then of course, AQ, not so much, but we were in the 70s, 77s. But once again, you see here, those 70s can get you into the top 20s, into overall like world as far as Warcraft logs. So just keep that in mind there too. As far as if you're a parse, whore, and you want to be able to parse as an enhanced shaman, there's definitely opportunity for you to get high into the the top 5, the top 10 as an enhanced shaman. But you got to bring your consumables and bring it, everything, world buffs, all the consumables, like all of it. So keep that in mind. Okay, so that's the video, guys. I will make a part 2, maybe a part 3 to this, diving deeper into the consumables and what you need, and also professions, because engineering's number one. You got to be able to have engineering to provide the class with some AoE that we severely lack. We don't have a cleave, we don't have a whirlwind, so you got to use your professions to be able to get that. All right, as you can see here, I've been talking way too much. This is the video has been requested by the shamans on my server. So I'm able to make a video. Let me know what you guys think. If you like it, twitch.tv Reggie vs. Solace. I'll be doing some wild content streams. We raid Nax, I think tomorrow. This video will come out probably on the day, so it'll be tonight. Yeah. And let me know what you guys think of the video. If you saw anything that you liked, anything that you dislike, anything that you disagree with, just let me know. I'm still learning this thing. Like I said, I played a Scarab Lord Undead Warrior in Classic WoW, but Enhanced Shaman is super fun, especially in PvP. All right, that's the video. I'll talk to you guys next time. Be amazing.